In this video, we're going to talk about sectioning. Let's have a look at my screen. Section headers need to be typeset clearly. And in LaTeX, the way to do that for a section is to put the section title, its name, within the \section command. So \section and then embraces whatever the title of the section is. Same thing is true for subsections. \subsection and then embraces whatever the title is. And in our example document, we will see it here. So where's our first section? It's some fractal models. And then within that, there is subsection noise and natural events, coastline and rivers. There is subsection on turbulence. Then there's the next section on scaling and dimensionality, and so on. Subsection. And then at the end, as always, the end document. All right, so let's see that generated, and here you see it. Beautiful typesetting of the sections and the subsections. Now, what's the first thing to note? LaTeX automatically numbers the sections and the subsections. You do not do that yourself. So in the source code, you see I didn't put that this was the first section. I didn't say that this was the first subsection. And I didn't say that this was the second subsection. But LaTeX numbered them all correctly. 1, 1.1, 1.2. So it does that for us. But it does a lot more than that. You notice that it makes them bold, which is good for sections and subsections because you want them bold to attract the eye because they're used for navigation. There's also white space around them. And that white space is generated by LaTeX. It knows the sort of white space you need. And that white space helps emphasize the section and subsection headers as well and helps a reader navigate. You'll notice the section title is in a bigger font than the text, and the subsection title is in a bigger font than the text, and the section title is bigger than the subsection. These are all good defaults. So let LaTeX do that for you. You will note here and in previous that the \ character introduces a command to LaTeX. Commands such as document class, begin document, end document, section, subsection. There is zillions of commands in LaTeX. The \ introduces them all. These commands often have parameters or arguments, and in the section case, it's the name, the title of the section. Same for the subsection, and so on. That's the generic format. There are other sectioning commands you should be aware of. \chapter, which is used in reports and books. Subsections are used, and another useful one is \paragraph for when you've got 1 or 2 paragraphs addressing a particular topic and you want a sort of a small heading for it. I think this is underused, the paragraph. I recommend you use it. Now, using the logical section commands rather than you choosing, like this, you know, in the normal WYSIWYG editor, you would choose to make sections bigger, section titles bigger, bolder, with gaps around them. Don't do that. Let LaTeX choose. Well, one advantage of this is you can move these sections around. If you're writing a dissertation, you've written 4 or 5 chapters and you say, oh no, I want to move chapter 4 before chapter 3. Because LaTeX looks after the numbering, you just do that. Swap them around. Typeset LaTeX, the numbers are all changed. But there's other advantages. You can use these sections and subsection titles to appear differently when needed. So when needed, in particular, if you're setting assignments, as one example, you can use logical hooks that LaTeX provides to change the appearance of things. So here's one example in typesetting assignments. If you want each section to be a different question, how can you use the section command? Because it doesn't typeset question 1, question 2. You just tell it. You interfere via a hook. And the hook that LaTeX got is for sections and subsections is the command the section and the subsection, and indeed the subsection. It's that command which typesets the 1, the 1.1, and 2.1, and so on. So here is a command that renews commands. So we change the meaning of the command of the section, saying renew command, the section, and then we'd say within braces what its new meaning is. And the same for the subsection. So let's try that in this document. Now you insert anything like that in what's called the preamble. And the preamble is that area in between the document class and the begin document. So remember that, that's the preamble. So that's where we put these commands to redefine the sectioning. Now let's see what happens. Here we go. Right, so sectioning names are still there, but it's now not just one, it's called question 1. And then it's not subsection 1.1, it's question 1 part A. And question 1 part B. Question 1 part C. Question 2 part A, and so on. Right, so we can use the same logical commands and get a different appearance because this is now an assignment. What else? Right, so don't do that willy-nilly, just do it as needed when you've got a specific logical reason. Right, so that is the introduction to sectioning.